सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् परब्रह्मनिष्ठं स्वतो धर्मनिष्ठम् अहिंसैकनिष्ठं स्वशिष्यैः सुजुष्टं यतीनां वरिष्ठं गुरूणां दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे. Thanks to all of you for joining us today. 2 3 weeks ago, when I was asking my students what we should do for Gita Jayanti, normally we last year we chanted the entire Bhagavad Gita, if you all remember. So this time the immediate answer that came was, why don't we invite Swami's Shankarananda ji? This is the response I got right uh, out of the first response. So then immediately that next day, I think I picked up the phone and spoke to Swamiji. And Swamiji was teaching, and he was this Gita Jayanti is coming tomorrow actually. So he had some teaching commitment for tomorrow. So we decided we'll have it today. So I want to, on behalf of everybody, thank Swamiji for accepting the invitation and spending some time with us today. And so, Swamiji, as many of you know, Swamiji spoke to us probably now 4 5 years ago. I think during the COVID time he spoke. I remember 2020, and so we are happy to have him again. Swamiji, as you know, is a student of Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji. Am I audible? Yeah. And I still fondly remember that first camp, I think it was December 25, 1996 at Sailorsburg. And for me, it was the first camp. And in Swamiji's Purvashrama, he said that was the first camp he was attending. He could have attended the ashram before because he was living not far away. New Jersey he was living. So, but that was the first camp, I think. And so that memory is very dear to us. And since then, of course, he in 2004 to 2007 he attended the 3.5 year course at the Nagpur Arsha Vijnana Gurukulam taught by Pujya Swamiji and Swami Brahma Prakashananda ji. So since then he's been teaching. He was given a Brahmachari Diksha. And once I remember, after he got Diksha, he came back to Sailorsburg, and he was teaching Sanskrit online. Okay, this is 2009, I think, 9, 10, that range. And those days, there was no Zoom. It was, I forget those technologies, but I used to dial up. I used to have dial up internet. I remember. So that kind of internet, okay, and suddenly it was a great thing for me. My God, you could go to the internet and this what Netscape was there those days, and so at that time he was doing online Sanskrit, and it was not video, but it was slide share. So we could see the screen with the Sanskrit notes and all that, and he was teaching Panini. And I think Satish Karandikar was in the ashram at that time. And those videos you can still look up. I still look up avg-sanskrit.org. If I have a Panini doubt, I'll go to that website. And it's also YouTube videos are there. Satish used to be teaching also after Swamiji. So those days I fondly remember. And of course, Swamiji learned from Pujya Swamiji and Swami Viditatmananda ji, who visits the ashram in Sailorsburg from Gujarat periodically. Pratyek Bodhananda ji and Tattvavidananda ji. Okay. And some of you know him also. And And so after that, Swamiji was given the sannyasa diksha, and then he was given teaching assignments in the ashram at Anaikatti in the 2014 course, and I mean 2010, I think April 2010. So that time he taught at the ashram, and then 2014 to 2017 he taught. He was the chief acharya there was Swami Sadatmananda ji. Again, many of you know him, and so that was the time when I returned from US. I visited India, and then I went to the ashram like I always do, because the ashram is just 25 kilometers from here. So Swamiji was teaching. I didn't know what was going on there, and Swamiji said, "Jakes, what's up?" So he calls me by Jakes. Even today he does that, and so very lovingly. So I said, "Swamiji, I returned from the US, and what are your plans?" "I have no plans." No plan, because I basically booked I mean, round trip ticket, but I had no plans of returning. So he said, "Why don't you join the course?" "Which course?" "3-year course that's going on, 3.5 year course." See, I've been asking Pujya Swamiji for the last 7, 8, 9, 10 years. "Swamiji, I want to join the 3-year course." And Swamiji was saying, "No, no, you're doing great work in Houston. Keep doing it. Listen to my MP3 recording." Pujya Swamiji. Then here I am, and suddenly Swamiji says I can come. So I came back home that evening. I asked my parents. My parents said, "If not now, when?" So then that night I packed my bags, and next morning 5:15 I remember I just took off from here and then settled down in the ashram. So I want to thank Swamiji for that. These blessings come without our asking, and so so that course also Swamiji had taught, and so since then he's been teaching a lot in the ashram, and these days many online classes he's conducting. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad classes, Vivek Chudamani classes he started recently. He's teaching meditation. He's teaching Sanskrit also online on Zoom. So all that information is available on the arshavidya.in website. And so we feel very blessed to have Swami Shankarananda ji here on the occasion of Geeta Jayanti, which is important to us. When I say us, means the Vedanta students who study. Once they begin studying, Bhagavad Gita is a big part of our study, and so our celebrations also change. And then Bhagavad Gita Jayanti, I never heard of 20 years ago, and now it becomes important to us. So please join me in welcoming Swami Shankarananda Saraswati to us, and thank you, Swamiji, once again.
Thank you, Jay Kumarji. Nimittamatram bhavasabhyasachin. This is what Bhagavan has to say. We are all nimittas. He happened to come at a given time. We met at a given time. We saw Swami at a given time. So many causes. We don't know what causes what. But ultimately, it's all Bhagavad Anugraha alone. So whatever Jay Kumarji said, you don't worry about all those details, okay? Understand it's all Ishvara Anugraha. Nimittamatram bhavasabhyasachin. So, namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spriha. That's what Bhagavan has to say. So, we have to understand that. So, it's a pleasure to join all of you so that there is an opportunity for me to dwell on the Bhagavad Gita for some time. That's a joy. Because if there is no reason to dwell, we don't dwell on it all the time. We have other things to occupy, like a newspaper. So, there must be a reason to dwell, occasion to dwell. And that's what we have right now. Right? So, we'll start with a prayer. ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः Vedai Sanga Padakramopanishadair Gayantiyam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyantiyam Yoginaha Yasyantam Navidusura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtibheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. The Bhagavad Gita is referred to Bhagavan by Bhagavan Bhashyakara as Ishwarasya Vachanam. So first time I saw that phrase, I didn't understand. Where is this quotation, Ishwarasya Vachanam? So Bhashyakara does not look at Bhagavad Gita as anything else other than the Lord talking. So it is Krishna teaching Arjuna. But how does Veda Vyasa talk about it? Shri Bhagavanu Vacha, not Krishna Vacha. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha. What is it? Shri Bhagavanu Vacha? Why not just Bhagavanu Vacha? What is Bhagavan? What is Shri? Shri is wealth. Anything that you value in life, anything we value in life is wealth. And the Bhagavan who is endowed with wealth, all wealth, anywhere, is Bhagavan's wealth. That is Shri. You should not write Shri space Bhagavan. It's one word. You can hyphenate it. Some Sanskritam, Shriya Yukta Bhagavan is Shri Bhagavan. Shri is not a title. Nowadays it becomes Shri, Shrimati. What does it mean? Shri means one who has wealth. What wealth? Hey, all wealth Bhagavan gives. What wealth do we have? So Shri Bhagavanu Acha. So Bhagavad Gita's uniqueness. See, all our Upanishads, Gita, they are all dialogues. Suppose you follow a dialogue. What's the benefit of dialogue? A dialogue seems easier to relate with. And if the dialogue is of a person like me, a person who has the same wavelength as me, then the dialogue is easier to follow. Kathopanishad is also a dialogue. Nachiketa is talking to Yamaraja. And Nachiketa is offered 3 blank checks. First 2 we are not interested in. Third blank check, what does he cash it for? He says, yeah, I've heard, that someone survives death or doesn't survive death. I don't know. Does someone survive death? Prete manishye, prete sharire, when this body drops, astiti chaike, nayam astiti chaike. Some people say someone survives death, someone says it doesn't survive death. This is what I want to know about. And when Nachiketa is told about it, before Yamaraja begins to teach him, see, where is Nachiketa gone? Very interestingly, he's gone to Yamadharmaraja. Yama means death. You have already survived death or not? You have gone to Yamaraja, you are talking to him. Have you survived death or not? You have. Then why this question, does someone survive death or not? No, I want to know exactly what the whole story is. Right? Nachiketa is still a little kid. And Yama offers him what kind of substitutes? Instead of this, I'll give you something else. What do you want? What do you want? You ask. You name it, I will give it to you. Why do you worry with this? It's not easy to understand. Even Bhagavad Devatas are confused about it. And what does Nachiketa say? Hey, you keep your chariots, you keep your women, you keep your wealth, you keep everything. Whatever is your offering, let it be with you. I have only one thing to ask. Varam tu tadeva varaniyam. Nothing else I want. Sometimes I imagine, no, if I were in Nachiketa's place, what would I do? I think I might have gone for a deal. Okay, give me everything else. See, I am not a Shishya like Nachiketa. Neither am I a Shishya like Shvetaketu of Chandogya, nor am I Bhakta like Mirabai. Arjuna I can relate with. Easier. Why? Because I said, why should I do this work? Trouble. You know, why are you putting him into this ghore karmani? Katham mam niyojayasi Keshava? It's a terrible karma. Yes. The position he was in as a prince, as a king, to be a Kshatriya, he had a duty, a moral obligation for doing what? To fight adharma. But what's important is that he didn't want to do what he had to do. That's important. He wanted to take a path which is easier. What is the easier path in our culture? He knew one thing. If you take sannyasa, you no longer have any obligatory karma. What a brilliant thing. All you do is you say, sannyastah maya. I have given up everything. Right? Take one orange robe, kashaya vastram, and then you are freed from all responsibilities. Isn't that wonderful? Why fight this battle of life? Why take up a job? Why have a family? Why struggle to make some money? Just walk away. From Kurukshetra, Rishikesh was very close. So Arjuna wanted to go away. We also want to go away. Go away from what we don't like. Is that not true? And we want to go what we like, we want to go towards. Pravritti, nivritti. Pravritti is life of engagement. Nivritti is withdrawal. Why do you go after? I like it. Why do you want to run away? I don't like it. Wonderful. That is the problem. The problem of life is I want to run away from what I don't like, and I want to run towards and hold on to what I like. And despite my best attempts, I neither succeed in, getting what I like, and perchance I got it, I don't necessarily succeed in holding on to it. And I don't succeed necessarily in avoiding what I don't want. Neither do I necessarily succeed in keeping what I avoided away forever. And my attempt is to become better within the situation. This is Arjuna. This is how you should look at Arjuna. I and you don't have to fight any battle, okay? We are not standing in front of armies. But where the common string lies is I am driven by my raga dveshas, my likes and dislikes. And I want to find a way out within the setup. This is Arjuna's situation. What is his immediate problem? He is facing a battle where he has to shoot deadly arrows at people he respects and loves. Katham bhishma maham sankhe dronancha madhusudana ishubhih pratiyotsyami pujarhau arisudana. Hey Arjuna, hey Krishna, you are Arisudana. You are one who is a destroyer of enemies. You kill enemies. I have to kill whom? Guru, grandfather. It's easy for you to say, come on, do it. It's not easy. It's not easy. How will I do this? I would rather than kill them, rather than win with the blood or their blood on my hand, I would rather walk away. That's what I feel like. But you know what? I think you know better. I think you know better. Therefore, what? Vyamishreneo, no, not that. What he's saying now, he's basically saying, I seem to have a confusion in my head. So you please tell me, Vyamishreneo vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me tadekam vada nishchitya yena shreya vapniyam. Look, in the face of this difficult situation, my mind is all confused. And what you're saying is seemingly confusing. It's not confusing because you cannot be confusing me. I trust you, but it's seemingly confusing. Therefore, you please help me. You decide and tell me what is right for me. What is Shreyas? What is Shreyas? Shreyascha preyascha manushyametaha. Kathopanishad and Geeta go together, Jayakumarji is teaching Kathopanishad also. Oh, finished, I don't remember now. But the whole point is, Katha Upanishad, Bhagavan seems to love. So Shreya. Shreya means what? What is Preyaha? Two words. Preyas, Shreyas. Iyasun Pratyaya. Preyas is what? What is dear? Dearer, in a way. What is Shreyas? What is better? What is different between better and dear? What is pleasant and what is really good for me? What is pleasant? Being lazy. What is pleasant? Running away from my responsibilities. What is pleasant? Avoiding difficult work to do. What is pleasant? Don't get up in the morning, wake up late in the day. Pleasant. Winter is coming, sleep longer. This is all prayers, okay? Eat food. What kind of food? Food that makes my tongue drool. Prayers, What is Shreyas? Don't be lazy. Do what has to be done. No, not just that much. Shreyas means gaining which there is nothing else to be gained. Nishreyas. A freedom from a sense of lack, centered on myself. An absolute freedom, not a relative freedom. An absolute freedom from my sense of lack. Everything I do in my life is because I'm not comfortable, or I feel I can become more comfortable by doing something. Is this true or not? Why do I engage in anything? Engagement includes disengagement, by the way. Don't think disengagement is not engagement, okay? Karma in the sense, कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यम बोद्धव्यञ्च विकर्मण अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यम गहना कर्मणो गति. What is karma? Means what is to be done. What is vikarma? What is not to be done. What is akarma? What is non-doing? All these are not clear. Really, what is all of this? All of this is called karma. Why? Because what is karma? Oh, my karma. That is different, okay? That is prarabdha, my karma phala. We use the word karma for karma phala also. But what is karma? Karma means where you have the freedom to choose. You choose. Or you're so mechanical, you choose without choosing. That's also karma. You cannot get absolved of your responsibility of choosing even if you didn't think, because you're given the faculty to think. Therefore, what is karma is what you do. And why do you do? You choose to do. That's the important thing here. It is kartritantram. Karma is kartritantram. It's centered on the doer. There's a doer involved. And why do I choose to do? Because Bhagavan told me, no, we never do everything that Bhagavan says. Veda says, do it. Do I do? Veda says a lot of things. Geeta says a lot of things. And I know also. I've read also. Do I do? What makes me do? What makes me do or what makes me not do? Whatever has entered my head well and is not opposed by my emotional being is finally what I end up doing. All right. Therefore, but why I do is because I am more comfortable doing than not doing. That's the reality. I do because I think something will improve for me. No, Swamiji, I do because otherwise I lose my job. Hey, you want to keep your job, right? So that's what you want finally. No, I mean, this fellow, if I try to tell him, he won't understand. So I just do what he tells me to do. You want him not to tell you anything, right? That's why you examine anything. You can try to lay the blame on some other thing, but finally you do because you feel you're better off doing than not doing. This is karma. And whatever we've done so many things in life. Where are we after all the doing? Where are we? Swamiji, I have come from a shared accommodation, one room, to having a huge mansion to myself. From a person who had only a shirt on my back to a person who now owns industries. You have come a long way. But where are you still? Swamiji, have you accomplished everything? No, Swamiji, there's so much more to accomplish. Yeah, good. So where are you in that perspective? Have you reached an end point? 65 years old. Have you retired? Swamiji, I wish I had another 65 years. Now only I'm taking off. Is that true? You may not say it in so many words, but the fact is, do you still have some agenda to fulfill? Something more to accomplish? Swamiji, I am all right now. Now time to give back to society. Now I want to start businesses for India to do well, for training people. Nothing wrong. Please understand, nothing is wrong with any of this, okay? Swamiji, now I want to give back to society. I want to do charitable activity. Fine. But do you want to do something or not? And if you say, no, Swami, I don't want to do anything, I just want to, go to a resort and relax. Can I come to the Gurukulam, Swamiji? I just want to relax there. Anaikatti is beautiful. No. Again, you want to do something. You want to enjoy life. You still want to do something. This tendency is because I am not fulfilled. And if death, Yama, were to come knocking tomorrow, what would I say? Can you come tomorrow? I always want to live a day longer. Is that not true? So Yama asks, hey, I gave you 65 years. What have you done so far? Swami used to say, he will ask, if you had done something useful, I can give you some time. What have you accomplished? What will you accomplish if I give you another 55 years? What will you accomplish? 110 years you would have got. What will you accomplish? Enough. Let's go. You have abused your free will enough. So the fact is, what is it by doing which I would be free from a sense of having to still do something? That is Shreyas. The Shreyas is where there is nothing more to be accomplished. That's called Shreyas. And what Arjuna asked for? He said, Vyamishrene vakyena buddhim mohayasi me tadekam vada nishchitya, having determined, yena shreyo avapniyam, by which I will gain this absolute good, not relative good. Relative good, what I think is good today, I thought getting married is good for me. Then I realized what? Oops, I made a mistake. I thought this job is good for me. Then what? Oops, made a mistake. I thought going to Gurukulam is good for me. Then what? That was also a mistake. Can happen, okay? Anything you can say, mistake. When do you know when have to go? Who can tell you when you can't go back from this? You don't have to say, oops, I made a mistake. One should be all-knowing to say I made no mistake, okay? That is who Bhagavan is. Sarvajnaha Sarvavit. Bhagavan has to introduce himself, okay? See, if you get advice, if you get teaching from somebody, what teaching would you trust? Whose teaching would you trust? It's not uncommon today. A parent or a grandparent, more so, tells a 16, 17-year-old kid, hey, you do this. It's very good. The kid says, what? What are you talking about? Today it's all age of AI, okay? What I want to study is artificial intelligence. That's what is going to make my life. Everything else will go away. Jobs will go away. Robots will replace us. Grandfather says, no, no, you should learn. Mechanical engineering is the best thing. Will you buy it? Grandfather, you're a little too old-fangled. Where is the newspaper? I want to read the news. Grandfather asks. What do you tell him? Why are you worried about newspaper? Look at this mobile. It's got all the news you want and more. Grandfather says, what is this? I don't know. Because when I touch something, something else happens. I want to call somebody, end up calling up somebody else. And when I touch something, suddenly I want to call and it starts playing YouTube. I don't know what to do with this. They should take away this phone. You give me my old phone. Only buttons should be there, okay? No touch screen. That's what grandfather thinks is good. In our time, we used to sit and pray. What do you guys do? Getting up in the morning? Mobile. Going to the bathroom? Mobile. Eating food? Mobile. Sleeping? Mobile. Even to sleep, mobile will tell you bedtime, sleep. You set it up. It will tell you it's a good time to sleep now. What is this? This is not a way to live. Grandpa, you don't know all this. You see how many people like my post? Facebook. I'm so well liked. Who likes you anyway, old man? So you see how life is. So who will you trust? Do you trust grandfather to tell you? A young man will trust grandfather? Maybe father is a little better. Will he trust the father? To some extent. Who does he trust even more? Facebook, his friends, they like or not, that's what he will trust today. So the basis, the matrix for a decision is now loca. How many votes? How many likes? How many dislikes? If you like my video, thumbs up. Okay? And subscribe to my channel. That's very important. This is what you see on YouTube. If you like it, please subscribe to my channel. Why? Because that'll make me richer and make me feel better. Without understanding what is Shreyas. So Krishna, Bhagavan, is looked upon by Arjuna as whom? One who knows. Who knows? Therefore he says, you tell me what is right for me. So if you can relate with Arjuna's problem of wanting to escape from what you don't like, wanting to run after what you like, and you're incapable of running away, and even if you run away, you won't be happy. If he ran away from the battle, he will always rue the fact that Duryodhana won finally. Without a shot, he won. And if he stayed in the battle, the losses are colossal. On one side, he has a devil, on the other side, a deep blue sea. Which way should he go? Whichever way he goes, it's a not win-win, lose-lose situation. And therefore, it's a difficult situation. And this is the fact of life. Whatever you do, whatever we do in life, it does not free me from the need to do again. That knowledge which will free me from the need, the pressure, the necessity to do something is Shreyas. And therefore, whom should he ask? The one who knows everything. That is Bhagavan. He is a Apta. Apta is one who you trust, one who knows who you trust. In your perception, you trust. So he asked. And Bhagavan said a few things. Whole second chapter is over. Gita is over. Really. Then third chapter, Bhagavan begins. Because Arjuna begins, actually, not Bhagavan begins. Arjuna begins. What did you tell me? It's not clear. You tell me I have to do work. I have to fight the battle. Look, on one hand, you tell me the knowledge that the Shreyas is what? It's knowledge. What is the knowledge? That you are already what you want to be. That's the knowledge. And gaining that knowledge, you will be free. You tell me all this very nicely. Sita pragyasya ka bhasha. I told everything, Atmanyevatmana tushtaha sita pragyastadochyate. Dukkheshu anudvignamanaha sukheshu vigataspruhaha. Vitaraga bhayakrodha sitadihi muniruchyate. Told all this. All knowledge. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram yaha vidyate. This is Sailorsburg statement. Nahi jnanena sadrisham. Nothing like knowledge. And then you tell me what? Fight. What is this? You hate me or what? You don't like me or what? You tell me knowledge is good. Knowledge is what will solve the problem. And then you tell me, Guru karmaiva tasmatvam. What is this? Therefore, look, I told you, you seem to confuse me. That hasn't gone away. You still seem to confuse me. You tell me, karma or knowledge? Why should I do karma? If knowledge is the solution, why should I do karma? I will go to Gurukulam. I want to study full time. Only Gurukulam I want to be in. It doesn't work necessarily. If Arjuna went to Gurukulam, even there, it wouldn't work. Somebody would come there to the Gurukulam. This is Swamiji's imagination, okay? Somebody would come to the Gurukulam and say, hey, is that you, Arjuna? You're the fellow who ran away from the battle? Fellow who didn't have courage to fight? Bhagya, run chhod. This is the fellow you are? Then he will call. See, this is the guy. This is the guy who who let adharma flourish when he had all the weapons. He could have taken care of dharma and he let adharma flourish. He took sannyas. Look at this guy. What dhyanam he'll do here? Ganga Kinare. What will do? Arjuna looks, glares. Arjuna can't survive. Okay, can't be at peace, even in Rishikesh, because he's too well known. They will come. They'll find him also. No Ajnatavasa. This is what would happen. Therefore, Krishna knows Arjuna cannot be at peace by just saying, I will take to a guru ashrama life. It won't work. Sannyaasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptum ayogataha. Yoga yukto munir brahma nachirena adhigacchati. Giving up is not the solution. Giving up is a solution when you don't need to give up. This is called Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is you do to gain. You do karma. What I just said the word Karma Yoga. Okay, I'm assuming you know some Geeta. Maybe I'm not right. So the fact is what? I want to get to a point where nothing matters. Nothing needs to be done for me to be okay. But to get there, I need to have a relative fulfillment. And this is the Gita's speciality. What? It just does not tell you only knowledge. Nachiketa, if I am not, Upanishad won't work. Shvetaketu, I am not, Uddalaka's teaching won't work. Bhrigu, I am not, Varuna's teachings won't work. All dialogues in the Upanishads. Maitreyi, I am not, Yajnavalkya's advice won't work. If you are a Maitreyi, Yajnavalkya's advice will work. If I am a Nachiketa, Yamadharma's advice will work. If I am an Arjuna, I need a Krishna only. Why? He will say, hey, don't run away. Do what has to be done. By doing what has to be done, what is to be done? Given your role, given your position, there is something to be done. You know what is to be done. You know Dharma Samrakshana is your job right now as a prince. You want to run away because there's some unpleasant consequences. Don't think about the consequences of, whether the outcome will be what you want or not. You do what you have to do. The result is not in your hands. There are too many factors between the cup and the lip. And therefore, the karma phala is not your making. Karma is your hand. Action is in your hand. Outcome of the action is not in your hand. The outcome may be what you want, maybe more than what you want, maybe less than what you want, maybe even the complete opposite of what you want. But that's not in your hand. That's my business. Bhagavan, that's my business. Therefore, you do and leave the result to Bhagavan. Karmanyeva adhikarahate ma phaleshu kadachana. And because you are not able to be the author of the outcome of your action, don't say I won't do. Ma karma phala hetur bhuhu mate sangostu akarmani. Then what should I do? Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Do. How? With the yoga buddhi. It is not about what you do, but with what attitude we do. Yogastha. What is yoga attitude? Samatvam yoga uchyate. I have an attitude where the outcome of the action, my response to it is the same. Whether it's less, more, or equal, I am willing to welcome the outcome of my action. It doesn't mean I welcome and I just sit. No, you respond again. Life is nothing but series of responses. My freedom lies in my responses. It doesn't lie in what situation comes. Situation is, I am only partly responsible for the situations I find myself in. But the outcome, the response is completely mine. That's where my freedom lies. A human freedom lies in responding, making choices in situations. And Bhagavan is educating Arjuna and saying, that freedom you exercise, you have to. Don't let your freedom be hijacked by your likes and dislikes. And to do what is to be done is the way to free your free will from the hold of likes and dislikes. There is no other way. Any amount of study of Vedanta does not free me from my likes and dislikes. This is a lesson I have learned. It's really a lesson one has to learn oneself, because you always think you can be different from others. Not true. We are all the same mold. If you want to bring about a change in attitude, we have to do as though we have that attitude. There is no shortcut. Therefore, to gain an attitude of acceptance is to do what is to be done, whether I don't like, and not do what is not to be done, even if I like. To be done. And that samatvam, that acceptance of situations, acceptance of outcomes, with the freedom to respond, is what makes Karma Yoga a very important aspect for us. And this is Bhagavad Gita's uniqueness. Kathopanishad will not in detail tell you how to live your life, much less Mandukya. Swamiji, Mandukya is all I need. Mandukya me valam, only 12 verses, wonderful. You will read 12 verses and go away, but you will remain the same, okay? Nothing will change. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita it is Moksha Shastra, it is Brahma Vidya, and it is Yoga Shastra. Yoga is Karma Yoga, Buddhi Yoga. This is uniqueness of Gita. Therefore, the blessings of Bhagavad Gita cannot be substituted by any other scripture that I am aware of today. I have been looking to see if there's anything else like Bhagavad Gita. There is nothing like anything else. Still, I'm saying there is not even anything that comes close. Because Gita is not telling you what will free you totally. In absolute sense, it tells you what will free you relatively too. Therefore, Gita is really, if we can understand Gita, and if we can make our life just what I said to you, respond to whatever has to be responded to, given my role, and let the outcome come without me being anxious, being upset. That itself will give me so much freedom in life. And after years of reading Gita also, this doesn't necessarily happen. We have to do something. We have to put our hearts into it. See, Arjuna thought Krishna knows something, But then in the after third chapter is also over, Bhagavan again wants to say, okay, I've finished with the Shastra. Okay. So what does he say? He tries to tell now, look, this teaching, this teaching I taught, he's giving the Vamsha Parampara. Right? So what does the fourth chapter begin with? It begins with a line, Imam vivasvate vyogam proktavanam avyayam vivaswan manave praha manurikshvaka vebravit. I taught this to Ikshvaku and Manu, etc. Arjuna asked him, what? What? What are you talking about, Krishna? I know your birthday. We celebrate your birthday, Krishna Janmashtami. Okay? So, what is this? You taught, Vivaswan Manu. Manu is the first one. Manava, human being came from Manu. You taught Manu? Come on. He came first or you came first? Who came first? Manu or you? You, we know. You came 70 years ago. What does Bhagavan say? You don't know me. Arjuna didn't look at Krishna as Bhagavan. He didn't know it's Bhagavan. Neither do we know who is Bhagavan. You cannot know Bhagavan by your imagination. only pramanam for Bhagavan is Bhagavan eva. See the word Bhagavad Gita. It's an interesting word. Compound. How do you split the compound? You can say Bhagavata Geetam. It is taught by the Lord. Therefore, it is Bhagavan, Bhagavad Gita. Ishwarasya Vachanam. All right. It could also be Bhagavata Geetam. It is a song on the Lord. Bhagavat Vishayaka Geetam. Like Brahma Vidya is Brahma Vishayaka Vidya. I could say Bhagavad Gita. This is all just playing with words, okay? Bhagavata Geetam, just to bring something out. Whole Gita is about Bhagavan. Do you have a doubt? Of course, it's about you also. But you are what? Bhagavan wants to know you are him. It's all about him. Because he alone exists. He alone is. He wants you to join him. How many times in the Gita will you see, mat, mat paraha, mat paramam, मयि एव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय मन्मना भव मच्चित्तो भव मद्याजी माम नमस्कुरु. Arjuna is the biggest ego he has got. Oh, sorry, Krishna tells Arjuna, Manmana bhava, be one whose mind is on me. Mad bhakto bhava, be devoted to me. Madhyaji, do all your yajnas in my name. Mam namaskuru, salute only me. Mameva ye prapadyante. Only those who come to me, Maya metam tarantite. They will cross over Maya. Matchittaha, mat prasadat tarishyasi. 18th chapter also you will see. He didn't leave till the end. Ego doesn't go. Beginning begins with ego. I taught Manu. Upakrama. Upasamhara is what? Manmana bhava, mad bhakta bhava. Sarva dharman parityajya, mam ekam sharanam vraja. Take only to me. He's a big egotist or what? Huh? So you have to always keep Krishna's photo in front of you or what? What kind of fellow is this who keeps saying, I am everything? Okay. If he was not everything, he wouldn't say. If he's saying the fact, it's not ego, it's a fact. Bhagavan is trying to make us see what he is. So Bhagavan is asked by Krishna, hey, you had a birthday. We know. How can you have taught? What did he say? Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swam adhishtaya sambhava avashtabhya sambhavamyatma mayaya. Ajopi san, being one who has no birth, unborn. Ajopi san, avyayatma, being unchanging. Bhutanam ishvaropi san, being the Lord, the ordainer of everything, of all beings, of everything that exists. Prakritim swam avashtabhya adhishtaya. Keeping my own prakriti in check. Sambhavami atmamayaya. Magically, by my own power, by my own ability, I manifest as all that is here. What is all that is here? Subject, object. What else is here? What else is here? You are the center of your world, aren't you? Is there a world without you? For you? Therefore, subject. I am the subject. And the whole world is what? Object. Is there a third thing? Dvauhi padartho. Not these two. Subject, object is not two padarthas. Drik, drishyo. That drik there is the one who sees the subject and object come and go. Not subject, object. The subtlety there. Otherwise, you think subject, object, only two things. Yes, true. Subject, object are only two. If you understand, the subject is not a subject independently. The subject is subject to something else to become a subject. Am I making sense? This body is not conscious by itself. What makes it tick? Oh, there's a Sukshma Sharira, it makes it tick. What makes Sukshma Sharira come into this body? Oh, there's a Karana Sharira. This is all terminology, okay? Tattva. What about Karana Sharira? It is Ajnanam. There is no Karana, okay? No Karana Sharira, really. So the whole point is that I see that subject object itself comes and goes. True or not? You examine. You examine. When you have one thought, you think of a pot. Now you think of a car. Now you think of a train. Between car and train, what did you think of? Were you there or not? What were you when you were neither thinking of car, nor thinking of train, nor thinking of anything else? Non-thinking. At the time when there is no thinking, not non-thinking. When there is no thinking, who are you? What are you? We make conclusions about ourselves looking at what's around. Whatever comes to your mind derives your conclusion of what you are. Is that not true? When you see your office, you become an employee or an employer. When you see your spouse, you become the other spouse. When you see your mother, you become a son. When you see your father, you become a son. When you see the nature, you become an admirer of nature. When you're studying, you become a seeker. When you're not doing anything, what are you? That's the fellow who does everything. The fellow who has no role is the one who takes all roles. That fellow, do you know? And therefore, Bhagavan is trying to push us to show us that. He says, look, yes, you acknowledge all things. I don't call a shot about everything. You acknowledge the fact that is Bhagavan, that's good. But your view of Bhagavan is your own view of Bhagavan. You don't know what Bhagavan really means. That is why you're asking me, you have a birthday. Understand? I am unborn. This birthday doesn't belong to me. The birth belongs to that body, not to me. Don't take the unborn to be born just because it appears in a given form. The dress you're wearing was born one day. A tailor stitched it, perhaps. But before it was born, did it exist or not? It did. As the very fabric. And when your clothes are old and torn, does it exist still? Yes, as fabric. What was it even when it was a cloth? Fabric. When did it ever cease to be fabric? Never ever. In the same way, you are a doer. You are an experiencer. When you're experiencing, what are you when you're not doing that? That's the real you, Arjuna. If you understand that, you will be free. And then you can do freely because neither do you die, nor do you get born. Achedyoyam adakyoyam akledyo ashoshevacha nityaha sarvagataha sthanuhu achaloyam sanatana. Nityaha. You are not in time. Sarvagataha. You're all pervading. You're not located in a body. You are unmoving. Achaloyam. And you are forever. Sanatana. Avyaktoyam achintyoyam avikaryoyam uchyate. It is avyakta. It's not something manifest as one more thing. Achintya. It's not something you can confine to a thought, objectify with a thought. Avyaktoyam achintyoyam avikari. It never changes. Tasmad evam viditvainam nanushochitum arhasi. Knowing this truth as you finally, you would have no reason to grieve. This is Bhagavad Gita. But then I don't understand this. All right. Do you at least know I am there? Bhagavan is there. Okay. Bhagavan is there. What do you go for? Bhagavan, I have some problem. I have a headache. Take it away. Okay. I'll do it for you. Arto. Artha Bhakta. Then what? I want this job. I want this contract. Okay. Artharthi. You want something and you want Bhagavan to be an accomplice to help you gain it. All right. Take it. Better than running in distress. Artha Bhakta. Arto Artharthi. Then what? This something seems to work in my life. Whenever I pray and ask for things, more usually than not, I seem to get some success. Golden egg laying goose. Let me find out what is this goose. Hiranyagarbha. So then Jigyasu, you're curious. What is it? What is this Bhagavan? I don't see the fellow anywhere. He himself says, Avyaktoyam. He's not available for you to see as one more thing. Achintya, you can't think of it, but he's there. How do I know the fellow? How do I know even he exists? That's why you become a Jigyasu. You're still a Bhakta. Who is Bhakta? One who has a devotion, one who is committed to actually. Now, Bhagavan says, Artho, Artharthi, Jigyasu. All these are okay. Udara, Sarva Evaite. All these bhaktas are good because at least they acknowledge me. They acknowledge a reality which is beyond their comprehension. They acknowledge. And the last one, the Jigyasu, wants to uncover it. He's a research scientist. He wants to know what is reality here, like a quantum physicist, right? But then who is this? Is this the only three? No. There is somebody who knows me, knows the what cannot be objectified, what is achintyam, what is avyaktam. He knows it like nothing else needs to be known. That fellow is called Jnani. Udara sarva evaite jnani tu atmaiva me matam. Jnani is the final word. Jnani is also bhakta. Note. What is bhakta? Bhakti is a relationship between Jiva and Ishvara. Therefore, what is bhakta? You relate with Bhagavan, then you become a bhakta. When you're an artha, a devotee in distress, you remember Bhagavan only when you're in distress. Melo, help me, save me. Melo is Marathi, okay? So anyway, so the point is, you save me. This is one fellow. Another fellow remembers him when he wants something, not just being saved from trouble, wants something. So when are you a devotee? When you remember Bhagavan. Out of mind, out of sight. Because out of sight, out of mind, you can't tell out Bhagavan. He is never in sight to you. Therefore, out of mind, out of sight, okay? What is Jigyasu? You're trying to bring him to sight. All right? How will you bring Bhagavan who is not available for objectification, who is avicharya, who is not manifest, not available for pratyaksha pramana or anumana? How are you going to make that Bhagavan known? That's why we have Shunyavada. It doesn't exist. What you cannot objectify doesn't exist. That's science. Or at least infer by something existential. If we can't do that, then there's no Bhagavan. No. Ajopisan, avyayatma, bhutanam, ishvaropisan. I am there. And I alone am manifest as all that is here. You want to know that? Then what should you do? Mameva sharanam gaccha. Sarvabhavena bharata. You take refuge in me alone. Come to me alone. Be one who is committed to me alone. Not the person Krishna, to Ishvara. And where is Ishvara? Ishvara sarvabhutanam hriddesher jana tishtati. He is sitting in your very heart, in your buddhi, the one who watches every thought arise and go. Pratibodha viditam is available right there. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati. Brahmayan sarvabhutani yantrarudhani maya. Making you go crazy sometimes. You seem to be like you're on a machine, which is put into motion and you have no control. Karumphala, you have no control. That's the no control. You have no control even over the emotions that arise in your mind. You cannot be held accountable for what thoughts arise in your mind. Thoughts arise because that's the order. That's Ishvara. Every thought of yours is in place, Thane. Every feeling of frustration is in place, Thane. It's all right. Needs to be understood, but it is not out of place. So to recognize that Ishvara is everything, it's not just knowing Ishvara is Sachidananda. That doesn't suffice. Sadibhutam, Sadidaivam, Sadiyagyancha vidu. You have to know Adhyatma, Adibhuta, Adidaiva means whatever you see is in order. That is called Bhagavad vision. And while everything is Bhagavan, Bhagavan is free from everything. That is real understanding. You need both. You need to see Ishvara as the one, as the cause for whatever is happening in Vyavahara, as Karma Phaladata, as Karmadhyaksha. And you also need to see Ishvara as Avyaya, as untouched by everything. And you have to see that Swarupa, my reality, is that untouched nature, the one who is the truth of everything. Tameva Sharanam Gacha. That Ishvara who is both in the form of all that is here and also in the form of the very truth which is unchanging. Tameva, that Ishvara alone. Sharanam Gacha. How? Sarva Bhavena, Sarvatmana. With all your cylinders firing, okay? All engines should be on that alone. All threads of your CPU have only one job, okay? Don't do multitasking. Tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsasi shashvatam. Tat prasadat, by his grace, by his anugraha. Swami, arbitrary? No. If you do, you are never denied the outcome for anything. It's a law. It's not a partial Ishvara. It's not like he decides to give sweets in one place and chilies in another place. No. Tat prasadat. Clarity also prasada. Another way of looking at it. Tat prasadat. With the clarity of this understanding, param shantim apnoti. One gains total, freedom. Param shanti. Sthanam prapsasi shampatam. Shanti means peace. Peace means what? There is no disturbance. There's a total acceptance of what is. It is not created. Peace is never created. Non-conflict, freedom from conflict is not created. It is a fact. Conflict is created. Disturbance is created. Param Shantam means that quietude which cannot be disturbed, is not disturbed, even when the mind is disturbed. Param Shantam. And it is not something will go away. Shashvatam. Sthanam. Sthanam means what? Place. That's a poor translation. That in which you are. Sthasyati asmin. Sthiyate asmin. Asti asmin. It is sthanam. That in which you reside. You cannot be away from it. That is sthanam. Therefore, it has to be shashvata. How? Tameva sharanam gacha. How? Swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manava. Do what has to be done, keeping Ishvara in view, and then Study a Shastra like Gita, Bhagavad Gita Shastra, to understand who is that Ishvara. And he will teach you. Ajopisan, Avyayatma, Bhutanam, Ishvaropisan. I am that Ishvara. So Manmana Bhava, Madbhakta Bhava, Madhyaji, Mam Namaskuru. That's the Ishvara, not a fellow who is egoistic who wants something from me. That Ishvara, I'm, Bhagavan says, do it. And what does Arjuna say? We should be Arjunas, Nashto moha smritir labdha. My confusion has gone away. My understanding has come back to me. What I had lost has come back to me. Now I know. Karishye vachanam tava. I will do what you asked me to do. So with a prayer that we also are able to understand the teaching of the Gita and do what needs to be done. With that prayer, with the prayer that all of us gain the blessings of Bhagavan to understand his truth in all its glory, I will conclude this session. Okay. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande paramanandamadhavam. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.